Who's Leonard?
There is a woman carrying something that looks like a pick with a chain and a mallet head.
The four of us are here to prevent the apocalypse. Your family has been chosen to make a horrible decision. If you fail to choose, the world will end.
At the beginning of the movie, we see 7-year-old Wen vacationing with her parents, Eric and Andrew, at their remote cabin in rural Pennsylvania. While catching grasshoppers, Wen is approached by a stranger named Leonard. Wen says she doesn't talk to strangers, to which Leonard says he is here to be her friend. He helps her in catching grasshoppers to gain her trust, then asks her some questions, but we see that he seems to be a little worried too. He tells her that his heart is broken, and when she asks why, he says because of what he has to do today. Only then do 3 other people appear with makeshift weapons, and Leonard tells her no matter what happens. He wants her to remember that he is her friend. She becomes suspicious and starts leaving there, and he tells her that she and her dads have to make some tough decisions. He says her dads won't let her in, so she have to tell them they must. Otherwise, they are gonna have to find their own way in. She rushes to her dads and tells them they have to come inside right now, as there are scary strangers who want to come in. They ask her to relax and she tells them there were 4 of them. The big one is Leonard and he says they have to help them. That's when there are 7 knocks on the door, and Leonard says he is here with his associates and requests them to open the door. Eric says they would like to be left alone, to which he says they are here because they are trying to save a whole bunch of people, but they can't do anything without them. Andrew tries to call the police but finds that there is no dial tone. Now when they don't open the door even after much persuasion, they try to break into the house, and Sabrina accidentally knocks Eric unconscious while defending herself. Andrew tries to fight Redmond and overpowers him, but then Adriana and Leonard also enter the house and he asks Andrew to stop. They then tie them both to chairs, and Leonard tells them that they are here to prevent the apocalypse. They can stop it from happening, but only with their help. Hearing this, Eric says he is having a psychological break of some kind, to which Leonard says their family must choose to willingly sacrifice one of the 3 of them in order to prevent the apocalypse. After making this impossible decision, they must then kill the one they choose, and if they fail to choose or fail to follow through with the sacrifice, the world will end. Humanity will perish, but the 3 will live and will be left alone to wander the devastated planet alone. Andrew says they are not choosing and sacrificing anyone, to which Leonard tells them that they all have been shown exactly what will happen if they choose not to make a sacrifice. Those visions led them to each other and that led them here to this exact cabin, and they have no idea why they were picked. He claims that oceans will rise, a pandemic will spread, the sky will fall, and darkness will envelop the earth. Eric and Andrew suspect that the group is lying and that the attack is motivated by hatred and delusion. But Leonard says that for every no they give them, a plague for the sins of humanity will be unleashed. Redmond then sits on his knees and asks them to keep looking at him before covering his head with a cloth. He says a part of humanity has been judged, and then they beat him to death with their weapons before Leonard decapitates him. Now that scared them all too much, after which Leonard and Adrienne drag his body out of the house and Sabrina cleans the blood from the floor. Leonard then comes back in and changes the channel on TV, and a media report shows devastating mega tsunamis, which Leonard declares is the beginning of the apocalypse. They then watch the footage shot minutes ago from Cannon Beach, and Adrienne and Sabrina say this is what they saw in their visions. Sabrina then switches off the TV, and Leonard says tomorrow morning they make the choice of sacrifice and save the world. Later, Andrew tells Eric that he thinks they have been timing all of this, and he just doesn't want him to be spooked or anything. Meanwhile, Wen manages to get out of the house and runs into the woods, but Leonard finds her and brings her back to the cabin. Andrew recognizes Redmond, whom he believes to be Rory O'Bannon, a homophobe who had assaulted him in a bar a year prior, leading to Rory's imprisonment. Andrew thinks Rory tracked him down for revenge. Leonard, Sabrina, and Adrienne question Andrew's assumption and grapple with their guilt, but still hold on to their visions. The next day, Leonard asks for their decisions very fast now, and we see Eric is trying to cut his rope with a knife. Adrienne tells Eric that she is the next one to go and that she is counting on him, to which Eric says she can walk out right now and nothing will happen. Adrienne tells him that she has a son, and over the last few days she had to watch him die over and over again. So believe her when she tells him that this is really happening. Andrew asks them to stop talking to Eric, and they are not going to do what they want them to do. Adrain sits there on her knees and covers her head with a cloth, and as she says a part of humanity has been judged, they kill and sacrifice her. Leonard then takes her body to the other room so they don't have to see her. They then switch on the TV and watch a report about the outbreak of the novel X9 virus, which is proving particularly fatal to children. Eric tells Andrew that he thinks he saw a person or a figure. Leonard asks him where he saw it, to which he says in the light behind him, when he was standing behind Redmond, right behind he struck him. Andrew tries to explain to him that they are under extreme stress and asks him to breathe deeply. He then says that he has been reading about these X9 cases and it isn't a plague. It's a pre-programmed show that they all knew about before they showed up here and knowingly made it a part of their narrative. He then tells them not to talk to Eric from now on. Only then Wen starts screaming saying she wants to see her cartoon now. Leonard goes to her to calm her down but she keeps on insisting, and taking advantage of the opportunity, Eric frees himself and tries to attack them. Meanwhile, Andrew also frees himself and runs towards his car, but Sabrina knocks him down and says she hit him in the knee just so he wouldn't run away. Andrew throws soil in her eyes and locks himself in his car to retrieve the gun, and when she tries to get him out of the car, he shoots at her and tells her to drop her weapon and back up, and she runs away into the woods. Andrew then returns to the cabin and tells Leonard to drop the weapon and move away from Eric. Leonard says he is dooming them all and that it's time for the next sacrifice, and asks him if he is willing to make a choice, to which he says he is taking his family and leaving. Only then Sabrina comes there running towards him, but he shoots and kills her. Leonard puts a cloth on her head and asks them if they are willing to make a sacrifice, and when Andrew says no, Leonard decapitates her. Andrew then comes out of the house to check Redmond's wallet, and he proves to Leonard that he was Rory by showing his ID to him. He says he is not a murderer like them, so he is going to lock him in the bathroom. He tells Eric that they slashed their tires, but they must have come in a truck and suggests they use it to escape. Eric and Andrew then lock Leonard in the bathroom, but only then do they hear glass shattering and they think that he got out by breaking the window. Andrew opens the bathroom door to check and finds no one there, but only then he jumps on him from behind the curtain and overpowers him and steals his gun. He then asks Andrew to turn on the TV if he wants to be convinced, and when Eric turns on the TV, the broadcast shows spontaneous plane crashes occurring around the world. Seeing this, Eric says the skies will fall and crash to the earth like pieces of glass. The reporter then tells that they have confirmation of as many as 700 airplanes having crashed without warning. Now, even after seeing all this, Andrew is not convinced and says that he is leaving here with his family, but Eric asks him if he really thinks that everything that happened today is just a coincidence, to which he says yes, or it has to be a trick. Leonard then asks them to come out onto the back deck now, as he wants to do the last part outside. He then tells them that when he is gone, they will only have minutes to stop everything, and then he slashes his own throat saying all humanity has been judged, and upon his death, lightning causes fires and more planes to crash. Eric now believes that the events are real, and that there was a figure in that light. Andrew says that he believes him and now all three of them should leave. But Eric says this wasn't a home invasion. They came here to spend time with them, for them to get to know them. They remind them of all aspects of humanity: Redmond malice, Adrian nurturing, Sabrina healing, and Leonard's guidance. They were the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Now, not wanting Wen to grow up in a destroyed world, Eric offers himself as the sacrifice. He reveals that during Redmond's sacrifice, he saw a vision of Andrew and an adult Wen. Eric feels that their family was chosen to make the sacrifice because their love was pure. Reluctantly, Andrew shoots and kills Eric, and then he goes to the Wen at her treehouse, where she asks him did Daddy Eric saved everyone. Lightning then strikes the cabin and sets it on fire, and we see they both seeing it burning. Andrew and Wen find the visitor's truck and they drive to a crowded diner nearby, where they watch news reports confirming that the disasters have subsided. Returning to the truck, the radio turns on and plays Boogie Shoes by KC and the Sunshine Band, the song Eric had played for them on their drive to the cabin. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more recaps like this. Also, if you have any feedback or suggestions for future videos, please let me know in the comments section below. I always appreciate your input and take it into consideration when creating new content.